Hey, welcome back, listeners, to the Felix Black Show podcast here on your platform for all streaming podcasts. Thank y'all for listening. Thank y'all for tuning in. And I appreciate the support here for the podcast. Feedback is always welcome. And as I continue to get better with the podcast, I'm going to try to do some live shows to get some call-ins, to get some feedback in real time, and to have guests on the show. But for now, it's me, the high value man, the person that you all tune in to hear, giving you my thoughts, my directives on dating and how things should be, right? Talking from the position of a high value man here in the dating pool. What is a high value man? Job, no kids, no drama, 100K a year, leader, provider, emotional intelligence, yada, yada, yada. All right. What am I talking about today? I'm talking about competition. This was actually a topic. I don't know why people don't send me more topics. Like, send me things that, hey, like, what do you think about this? What do you think about this topic? Right? Usually when people ask me stuff like that, it's not anything that's I can talk about for a long time, maybe like 2 to 3 minutes, and it's an answer. I'm rambling. Let's get started with the program. Older men competing with younger men, and older women competing with younger women. How does that go down? From my perspective, this is how it goes down. Older men competing with younger men, and older women competing with younger women. A younger dude cannot compete with me. He just can't, right? When we're talking about dating, if we're talking about athletics and stuff like that, yeah. But when we're talking about dating, being with a woman, providing for her, being a leader for her, they can't touch me with a 10-foot pole, for lack of a better term. Right? They can't see me on their best day. Why do I say that? Because they just don't have the resources. They don't have the experience. They don't have the balance. They don't have the adaptability and the flexibility. What do we always say? Experience is the best teacher. We always make this comment that men mature slower than women, right? So it takes us longer. I'm more experienced, so that means I'm more mature by that logic, right? We'll bring that back when we're talking about women, older women competing with younger women. I have the resources. At the end of the day, the mature woman who is looking for peace, security, stability, because I've made videos on how, younger women usually don't look for that. They just look for attention. Oh, you look good. You got a nice body. You're sexy. They want the compliments. They want the money. The older women want the stability. They want the consistency. They want the intimacy. They want the romance, right? They want that feeling of belonging and having a place somewhere. I can provide that, right? So a young dude is still out there finding his way. We all do it. We've all done. We've done it. I've done it. Let me just not speak for everybody. I've done it. I've been on a path to find myself in searching, making bad decisions, not having the amount of resources that I wanted, not being able to provide for a family if I had had one at that point in time. Right now, there's nothing that a young dude can show me, can teach me, except for something technologically based that I might not be cryptocurrency or something like that. But when we're talking about dating, when we're talking about having emotional intelligence for women, being in tune with what they are thinking, what they want, what they should be looking for, there's no competition there. So it's a really easy answer. There is no competition. The only thing is they may be less body fat, right? But when an older dude works out, he still looks good too. We have a better fashion sense because we have the ability to look younger, to look formal, and to look older. I mean, if you really want to do that, right? Younger guys are with the trend mostly. They're with whatever's trendy. And as an older man, as a gentleman, a distinguished gentleman, once we get to a certain point, we don't follow the trends. I think we're okay spending our money, money that we don't have, on keeping up with the Joneses when we're younger. That's expected. But once we start getting into our 30s, we reach that threshold. We are now looked at as men that should be able to provide a place for a family to come and grow and flourish, right? And so we start to count money differently. Some of us. If you can afford it, you can afford it. But what we're looking at is how do I maximize the money that I have, not just throw it away? Is this a bad investment? And a lot of times we would put our wants before our needs. And then we start to put our needs before our wants. And then we work to be able to take care of our necessities and still have enough left over for what we want to do, right? So that's how a man balances the two. There's men that's still into shoe collection. There's men that's still into, train collections, remote control cars, things like that. But I guarantee most of them take care of their necessities first, and what's left over goes into their hobby, goes into whatever brings them peace. Guarantee it. Because that's the shift. Before, we're just like, oh man, I need to go get some new shoes. I need a new hat, some new jewelry. Cool. That's our first thought. And it doesn't matter, if we're still living at home with mom, if we are sleeping on a mattress with no headboard, a mattress that's on the floor. I have basic furniture in my apartment. I don't care because I'm good with that. But I want to look good. I want to smell good. I want to feel good because that's what the women at my age are into. They're into the bling and what a man looks like he has. And once we get older, that changes. We want to make sure, hey, my house is cool. I got a roof over my head. The refrigerator's full. Nobody needs anything. We good in here? All right, cool. Now what I have left, I can spend on me because I've taken care of my responsibilities. The average young dude hasn't gotten there yet. So that's why I say there's no competition. An older man, a younger dude is not competing with me when it comes to dating. I come from a generation where we didn't have, let me get your Instagram. Let me get your Facebook, right? I had to adapt to that because now I'm like, hey, can I get you have a number? Let's exchange numbers. I got a card. I don't even give people my number anymore. I got a business card. Here you go. Here's my card. And they're the ones that's just like, I'll give you my Instagram and because giving a phone number is a big deal, I guess. I don't know. I mean, it's a phone number, whatever. It's the world of social media, which I am on. So make sure you follow me on all social media platforms. It's a world of social media. So that's something I had to adapt to. So I wasn't always able to just jump in someone's DMs because they look good. No, we had to make a beeline and have that conversation. And if she wasn't feeling you, she'll tell your ass no to your face. And you turn around and walk the fuck away, right? Because she's not into it. And there's nothing you can do. You just built confidence and you built game through that. And now they don't have the social skills that we did. So again, that's another thing. I can adapt to being online. I can talk to someone online. I can hit you up on Instagram, all that type of stuff. And I can also talk to you in person. I can get your information, exchange your information, talking to you face to face. I'm able to do that. And I don't believe that all young men are able to do that. There are some, yes, but I don't believe all are. So there's no competition there. There's a little bit more competition when it comes to older women versus younger women. Competition is fierce. It's fierce because us as men, we like a mature woman who understands the level of feminine woman we want, the level of nurturing, care, and love we want to receive from our women. We like the woman who likes to be at home, doesn't mind going out, right? There's nothing wrong with going out, but you don't want to be in the club every weekend, right? You're not partying and drinking every single weekend. And that's what younger women tend to be on. They tend to be on being seen, being chased, being pursued because they're at their peak. I've said that before. I will say that again. Women are at their peak when they're in their 20s. As you get to your 30s, as you get to your 40s, boom, your stock starts to decline. That's a fact. That's a fact in dating. The only problem with women in their 20s is that they are just not developed yet to care for us. I'm speaking generally. Of course, there are exceptions. So stop giving me, well, I knew one person that did. I'm talking generally. Generally, your 22-year-old woman does not have that concept yet if she doesn't have children, right? And if she had children, it's because she probably was out having fun. I don't know if she planned to have a family. If she did, good on her. Continue to move forward. If she didn't, that is a result of that. The average 21-year-old, 22-year-old does not have that concept yet. They are looking to be taught. And if they're with an older man, they're looking to be taught those things. A lot of younger women say they don't like men their age. Why? Because men just want to cut, right? That's what we're on when we're in our 20s. We just want to cut. And it's easy to say, I don't like men my age because they just want that. We all want that. We all do. Just when we get older, we go about it a different way because a lot of that has already gotten out of our system. So we understand that sex is part of a relationship. And I hope women understand that too. We understand that's part of the relationship. That's going to happen. But what else is going to happen? Are you going to nurture me? Are you going to build a family? Are you going to improve me as a 22-year-old woman? Or do you have something to provide me as a 40-year-old man or a 30-year-old man that's going to improve myself? And that's where we get into the gray area. Usually they don't, right? Usually they're still in school. They're still partying. They're still getting it out of their system. You know, they're at their peak. Their bodies are at their peak and they're getting all this attention from men young and old. So they're not really looking to start a family. They're not really looking to start a family. They're looking to get their things in order to start a family in their 30s, in their mid 30s, whatever. So in their 20s, they're not really looking for that. Yes, there are exceptions. I keep having to say that because someone's going to bring that up. But older women, their focus is different. They are not looking for the fun. They're looking for the stability. They're looking for that man that has a home, that has his path, who's on his pathway to his success. He's made that decision. Career-wise, he's kind of set and on the way. The problem with the older woman and where the younger woman trumps her is attitude. These older women have such bitter, bad attitudes, and it is annoying, and it is a real turnoff because they've been through so much. Is your attitude warranted? Probably so. You probably have the right to have an attitude. You don't have the right to have an attitude with me because I didn't do that, right? Whoever you were talking to, Stanley, Ernesto, they did that. I didn't do that. So I have a problem when you have an attitude with me, just meeting me, and you have all these rules, don't do this. I don't want a man who does this, who does that, who does that. That's because somebody else did that, right? I understand you're learning what you will accept and what you won't accept, but don't come to me. Don't approach me with rules. I don't want someone who does this, who does this, who does this. I know what I'm looking for, but I'm never going to go negative and be like, I don't want a woman who does this, who does this. I want a woman who does this because I do this. It's just the mind frame to go negative. And I appreciate how younger women still have positivity in relationships in the world inside of them. So that is where the competition comes from. That they look really nice in their 20s. They look really nice. Sometimes their mental is really energetic. They give you a lot of energy because they're still positive on life, but they're not mature to the way the world works outside of looks. How you have to pay stuff, how you have to chill out, how you have to start to invest and, nurture and build empires. They're not interested in that. Where the mature woman is interested in building and is interested in doing certain things to build generational wealth, but they come with baggage sometimes. And that can be, when you come with baggage and you have a bad attitude and you're not at your peak. I hate to say that. You're not at your peak. That just makes for the competition. So as a man, to me, it's a lot of competition because both of them have their perks. Both of them have their good and have their bad. I like to find someone with a little bit of both. I don't mind an attitude. I don't mind that. But just make sure that it's focused in the right way. I don't mind someone who's been through things. We've all been through things. But have you gotten through them? Are you ready to move on? Are you ready to move up? Are you ready to improve? Looks are temporary because we all change over time. We do. But I have to be attracted to you. I really do. And so I understand being a mom. I understand life happens. But just as men should be taking care of themselves, women should be too. But yes, there's definitely competition. Older women and younger women. For me, I don't think there's any competition for older men, younger men. I don't. I just don't see it. I don't see how there could be, how there would be. But maybe somebody out there listening has a different point of view, and that's what I'm here for. This is the Felix Black Show podcast. Let me know what you think. Thank you guys for supporting the podcast, supporting me as a full-time content creator. As always, you can find the podcast on all platforms where you listen to podcasts, and you can find the full video on YouTube. Thank you guys for listening. Thank you all for listening. And I will see you and speak to you in the next one.